Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the CPNG first annual ShopConvo. Shout out to my man Rue for letting us have this wonderful event at his spot, Barbers on Broad, 1220 North Broad Street. Alright, my name is Louis Jones III. I'm the host of the Cool People's Networking Group. Over a decade of keeping our people paid. We're gonna get right into it with our first guest, AmbitionThePoet.
My name is Ambition Harper. What I do, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm a poet, I'm a motivator, I'm a journalist. I do a lot of things. Where you can find me is Ambition Harper on Instagram. You can find me Ambition Harper on YouTube. AmbitionThePoet, if you Google that as well. I'm everywhere. And the one fun fact about me is that I love to speak, I love to write, and I love to motivate people.
Yeah, I'm Antmack215. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own about 4 businesses and working on 2 other ventures. Fun fact about me, I also work with Kevin Hart and Heartbeat Productions. I used to rap and I teach economics. You can find me at Antmack215 and Platinum Farms 215 store where we teach health and wealth.
Hello, I'm Nico. I go by Nico the Financial Gentleman or Nico the Investor. I'm a business banker, but also I trade stocks, I trade options, cryptocurrency, anything you name it, I can help you pretty much trade it. A fun fact about me, I was in the Army for 10 years and I'm ridiculously diligent. I'm one of the best business bankers in the city of Philadelphia. I'll help you get business lines of credit, business credit established, and I can help you get funding. We do equipment financing and a whole bunch of things in the financial district. Nico.
My name is Josh. I'm a project manager contractor. You can find me on Instagram, Ashton Davidson DP. A fun fact about myself is that I'm a bowler, semi-bowler, and I'm also working on content, in the future to show people in my community how to bowl.
Yo, what's up everybody? So for our very first question for our distinguished panel, we're gonna ask, what was it like growing up in their respective cities?
So for me, what it was like growing up was interesting. I'm a foster child from Nicetown on Small Grass Street, and I'm so thankful that someone from West Oak Lane was able to take me out of Nicetown and take me to Jersey. I still believe to this day that a lot of black people at that time were moving from the cities into the suburbs, and those suburbs are Lindenwold, and the one I landed in is Sicklerville. Some people went into the suburbs of South Jersey, so we have different pockets of South Jersey that have black people who got a little bit of money and moved into the suburbs. So for me, it was very interesting trying to adjust from literally being in poverty and then ended up in middle class. So now people are making fun of me because of the way I look, the way I dress, and at that time, I don't believe that the black people of that area knew what a foster child was, or whatever the city and the people, how we live, what we talk like. I think I was just a new thing to that particular town. But growing up was cool, except for, just trying to adjust to the financial conditions that they had that I didn't. So when you're a foster child, you don't have the way, the dress, the sneaks, none of that. And so the whole time for me in childhood is trying to explain who I am, why my mom don't look like me, just trying to explain to children what I am and where I come from. But then on the flip side, I came back to Philly trying to explain to people who are from Philly that I'm from Philly, but now I don't live in Philly anymore. So it was just a mess. But I would not change it for the world. I'm grateful that I got a chance to live in the suburbs. I got a chance to live in areas that some people can only dream of. And I'm so grateful to God, because had I had stayed in Nicetown, had I had stayed in the foster care in Philadelphia, I would not be here speaking to you today on this camera. I know that for sure. So I'm just grateful for God for my situation, even though it's complicated, being born in Philly, being there until I'm 10, and the complications of being in Philly but being raised in the suburbs. I'm thankful. So that's just a quick synopsis of what happened to me.
I was born and raised in North Philadelphia, 22nd and Lehigh. But my family was gypsies. They moved all over Philadelphia, from Germantown to South Philly to Logan to Albany to Southwest Philly. So I know people from all around different areas. And coming up, I could say it was very geographical back then, but I got a pass because I knew people from all different neighborhoods. And that's how I grew up. I love this city, and I'm here to make this city better and try to stop what's going on with the violence with the kids and us dying from having a bunch of poisons in our body. That's why I teach health. And like the brother over here said, Nico, teaching financial literacy. That's what it's about in Philadelphia.
All right. I'm from West Philadelphia. Most of my family, my mother's from South Philadelphia, my father's from North Philadelphia. Grew up in West Philly, 49th and Thompson, was born right there, Thomas Jefferson Hospital. My parents moved me out of West Philly, probably going from middle school into high school. And one thing that I remember during that time frame is I remember hating moving. Just like AmbitionThePoet, my parents moved to Sicklerville, so it was a better school system and everything like that, you know, different environment, which I appreciate now. But at the time, I just remember being, you know, hating moving from Philadelphia, feeling like that's my home. I mean, like a piece of me is being ripped apart. But one thing that I learned from my parents is in the long run is to trust the process. You know, that's one of the Philly slogans. Even back then, I always felt like that, trust the process. Because everything that we, you know, it's better to learn, you know, things outside of your environment. So I'm glad that I have a little bit of West Philly and a little bit of Jersey, because now the finished product of myself is a combination of both, you know. So I just appreciate everything I encounter. I was in the Army for 10 years, so, you know, you got to learn to adapt and learn to be something new. And there's nothing wrong with adapting and being a better version of yourself. We all trying to be better versions of ourselves, whatever that looks like to ourselves. So, you know, that's what I do. I want to make sure that everybody knows that you can be whatever you want to be, and you're not a product of your environment. You're a product of everything you go through. It all becomes, you know, it all comes together to make who you are in the end.
Coming up for me, so I grew up at Percy Street, Erie Avenue. My parents was there. I was going to Harold Davis Christian School for a little bit. We happened to move to Northeast. Growing up, it was just, you know, a bit of a lot. You know, my parents, you know, worked 9-to-5 jobs, and, you know, just crazy to see how they sacrificed to, you know, see how to make things good for me. But, you know, I'm just happy that growing up I was around, like, you know, grounded friends. Like, we was always trying to, you know, hustle. It was times where we pretty much would go out when it snowed to shovel snow. You know, we had those moments, as well as just trying to make $1. I'll never forget, you know, my homie Dre, shout out my man Dre. He was just like, man, come on, bro, we going, you know, sharpen some pencils. I'm like, sharpen some pencils? He's like, yeah, man, 5 cents. I didn't really understand it then, but then, like, as I fast forward, he's more so having that mentality, like, yo, like that entrepreneurship mentality. So coming up, it was just like just learning different aspects of life, you know, just through the people I meet. Like I said, I'm a bowler, so growing up, I started off bowling, just started meeting people in my community. That's how I, like, pretty much found out about, like, what was going on. Regardless if people was retired, you know, I always knew that people had a story, and the biggest thing is that you can always learn from somebody. So, you know, growing up for me was always a learning experience.